While all year round exciting JRPGs come out, in July I'm happy to say I got to discover a few special ones. I fell in love with a certain sweet roguelike about a robot trying to help a young girl, had time to return to the world of tRrLs again, and I also decided to return to one of my favorites from last year because I'm hyped for its sequel along with other stuff I played as well. So after a month full of special games that I'm sure I'll love for a long time, here are the JRPGs I played in July. Void Terrarium was a game I had high hopes for ever since I saw its first trailer, and when I received a copy of it, while I was pretty sure I'd like it since I enjoyed its demo, I was hoping I would love it, and after playing its campaign and a little extra, I'm pleased to say that's definitely the case. The quiet story of keeping the young Toriko alive as an adorable robot with the help of a stuck-in-the-ground factory AI was one that ended up feeling really special, with its simple tasks of finding food or medicine combined with Void's Tamagotchi-like mechanics and dungeon crawling making everything come together to feel important. Partner that with the little story progressions on the way and caring for Toriko and trying to make a nice terrarium for her make every action feel like it has weight. And all these things together had Void Terrarium really work its magic on me in this meaningful little journey that definitely made me shed a tear or two by the end of it. After finishing the campaign, I bought a second copy of it for Switch and have been playing that kind of on and off ever since, as I'd love to put so many more things into Toriko's terrarium to make her smile. I'm far from filling it up as much as I want to, but it has been fun to go back into dungeons after getting better at them and working out which buffs go best together. And even though I've definitely improved, I like that I also haven't gotten to the top of each one so far, as the game is still genuinely challenging. So it makes me want to keep this on my Switch for a good roguelike challenge whenever I feel like it, and the randomized nature of everything has me feeling like I'll always have something new to tackle in it. Since I'm playing another game right now, I don't know when I'll play it again next, just that I would like to, so feel free to check out my review if you want to see its gameplay in more detail, and I still really recommend this game for fans of challenging roguelike dungeon crawlers and heartwarming experiences, as this game truly has a special place in mine. My pre-ordered copy of Fairy Tail unlocked the day before I started working properly on this video, so I've only been playing it for about a day, but I'm really enjoying it so far, and with its fun gameplay that fits the kind of gaming mood I'm in, it's been a good way to end the month, even with my lack of knowledge about the series. Since it's by Gust, it reminds me a lot of Atelier in that its combat is a lot like the UI of older Atelier games, the aesthetic isn't far off Atelier minus the anime look, which looks great anyway, and things like the request board and map have clearly been taken from the RPG side of things. I like this though, as it adds familiarity as I discover the world of Fairy Tail for myself, and I've liked the characters enough to have even watched a little bit of the anime between playtime to get to know more of everyone's origin story, and having so many character stories to unlock, I'm sure there's plenty more to find as I continue to make my way through this experience. I'm currently just past chapter 3 and looking forward to seeing how the story goes as it continues, and I'm looking forward to unlocking more flashy attacks in battle, as the anime feel of this game mixed with that Gust feel is very enjoyable. So until my review, I hope those of you playing it too are enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to continuing my journey into the world of Fairy Tail after this video is done. Another Gust game I played last month was the wonderful Atelier Ryza, and while I am going to talk about my experience coming back to it in a different video soon, the magical world full of beauty and wonder was an absolute joy to come back to and reminded me of just how much I loved it. The main reason I came back to it for the most part was the Claudia DLC, although the sequel announcement had a big part in pushing me over the edge to pick it up. But that aside, it ended up being a great and light way to return to the world of Ryza that has me considering trying some of the other DLC too. Claudia's DLC has a limited version of Ryza's map and set things to do within the episode that made it easy to get back into the rhythm of the game without feeling overwhelmed, and the fun and small moments featured in Claudia's episode refreshed my love of things so much that I even ended up coming back to my second playthrough. That was fun too, although since I'm playing Legendary mode, I didn't make that much progress, but the refresher on all the mechanics in Atelier Claudia made me feel like I could slot back into things with ease, so we'll see if I play more with it. Until I talk about the Claudia DLC in detail though, I am currently considering if I want to pick up more of the DLC, so let me know if that's something you'd be interested in hearing about in the lead up to Ryza 2. And in any case, I look forward to talking more about Atelier soon. Another game I was replaying on its harder difficulty was Trails of Cold Steel 3 on Switch, since I had kept it on my Switch for whenever I felt the urge. Towards the beginning of last month, I ended up getting the Pro Controller for Switch as I noticed one of my Joy-Cons drifting yet again towards the end of my Xenoblade playthrough, and took this as an excuse to finally get a Pro Controller. So of course I needed a game to test it with, and I decided to do that with Trails as I'd been thinking about it at the time. I'm so glad I got the Pro Controller as I love the feeling of having a strong, proper controller in my hands while playing. And while it's a small thing, I've been loving not setting out the little controller dock thing every time I play and being able to get into things so smoothly. And I've even been pulling out other games from my collection like Smash Bros, as this subtle change has me feeling a bit more inclined to play my Switch in my free time. Controller aside, in my Trails of Cold Steel 3 time, I started a new game in Nightmare mode so I can see this side of the game and also try to get to all of its side quests like I originally wanted to, and that's been pretty enjoyable so far. It definitely bumps up the difficulty. I had one of the first bosses nearly beat me and really had to heal and use items that made battle feel more satisfying. And as I go through the first dungeon, it's been fun putting more thought into each battle. I actually feel a little silly too, as between my first playthrough on PS4 and the 10+ hours I played in June to give my Switch impressions, I only just noticed where you can check weapon advantages on the screen. That means I've been playing a little more strategically this time around. I knew this existed in the game, but from learning all the other systems, I guess it's something I just glossed over. But I'm glad I've discovered it now, as in this mode, breaks and extra moves really count with the difficulty, so I'm sure this will help me get through, and I hope talking about it will teach some of you guys who maybe didn't notice it either. For now though, I don't know when I'll pick up Trails again to play, as I've just started Fairy Tail, but it was fun to play more on Switch, and I still love having this on my device as an option, so I'll be leaving on there in the hope I can play it again more soon, but we'll see if I get the time. SINoALICE's near collaboration was one of the main reasons I wanted to play it, and since it's finally in the West, I've been keeping it on my phone for that purpose. Naturally, when that time came around, I made sure to log into the game and get my free 2B unit from the event. And before that, I played a little bit of story content that I was very happy to be able to understand more easily now that the game is in English. I was hoping I'd have more to say about the game, however, I realized quickly at the beginning of the month I was starting to fall into some old habits with my smartphone gaming time. Nothing to do with smartphone games themselves, but more with my habit of tending to jump around and play everything, which I always think is why it took me so long to finish games like Persona 2 in the past. And because of that realization, I ended up putting down SINoALICE altogether, with plans to save it for a week or even just a day where I dedicate myself to putting the time in. It's been really fun feeling like I'm able to play all these new smartphone experiences thanks to my new phone, but it kinda just made the realization that smartphone games, like console ones, require time and effort if I want to get in and enjoy them for the first time. And since I like the Yoko Taro games I've played and his general existence so much, SINoALICE isn't something I want to go halfway into, so you probably won't hear me talk about it that much anytime soon, but I do hope that those of you playing it are enjoying it. So for now, maybe until Near Reincarnation, I'll probably step back from smartphone games a little and mentally add them to my backlog and treat them like anything else I don't have time to play but want to give more time to later. And in those are also the recommendations you guys gave me, like Epic 7, that I definitely do have an interest in playing. Until then, I'll be keeping to the games I plan to play in full, and I'm at least thankful to SINoALICE for seeming good enough to make me want to play it right, so I look forward to talking about it whenever that time comes. August is a somewhat quiet month for JRPGs in the West, although since we ended July with Fairy Tail having just come out, I'm sure myself and many of you are still continuing that one, at least from the beginning of the month. After that, the game I'm looking forward to playing most is Death End Request 2, with its interesting take on JRPG battles and the many potential bad ends that you have to dodge while playing. The game's new location in Europe looks unique, and I'm looking forward to getting to know the new girls and seeing how the characters from the first game will fit in too. So that's my top pick that I'm looking forward to in August, and we can look forward to that being out on August 25th if you're a console player like me, or the 18th if you're planning to play it on Steam. Aside from that, I don't know if I'll be taking the time to jump into anything extra yet in between, as I only just started Fairy Tail and don't know how long that will take, but I do know that I'm having fun with it and I'm enjoying the month so far. So until next time, I look forward to hearing what you guys are playing and hope to talk more about Fairy Tail and other JRPGs soon. Thank Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below what you played in July and what you plan to play in August. You can like and share this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more JRPG content like this, and ring that bell to get notifications on whenever I post so you don't miss a thing. You can check out more videos here, and you can find me on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at JRPG Jungle. Links to those will be in the description below, and until next time, thank you, bye!